a drink. I need a life for real. I need to be in the commercial of that Buddha guy. It's like, you remember how the commercial was a car like went by and it soaked the other dude? That's me right now. It's stressful.
You were literally fixing an angle.
And it was stressful. We were having technical difficulties.
Cheers to that.
Okay.
Boy.
Alright, welcome to episode 5.
6, motherfucker.
Welcome to episode 6.
Where's your head
Cheers.
at? Have a drink.
I'm just a little annoyed that we were having technical difficulties.
What difficulties?
I'm just not the most patient gal in the bunch.
You're really not.
My patience is literally 0. And like once something is not working,
The first time.
the first time, you can see it in my face, and I think that's
And
the
the
problem.
boys, that's a hilarious thing. It's like, it doesn't work. I'm like, damn, bro, chill.
It's a toxic trait that
It
I need
really
to
is.
change.
You
That I
really
need
do.
to work on, because life is about patience.
Tell me about it, though.
Okay, so please explain yourself. What is going on right here?
What does it look like? What do you think?
What's his name? The Mexican dude? The El Luchador?
It's I guess the translation will be the Grim Reaper.
The Grim Reaper? Okay.
Yeah, that will be the translation. And he is the equivalent of or WWE, I think it's called. It's one of those shows when like they're fighting but they're not really fighting, but it's like a bunch of shows and you take little kids to scream, "Kill it!" Have you seen those?
I think it's a boy thing.
Yeah, little kids.
Yeah.
But it's more like little kids and like
But they're all boys.
guys that drink Bud Light.
Not Bud Light. Because Bud Light mad, probably.
For real. Have you seen the new ad for it?
No, I have not.
It's now they're going all American. They're like, yeah, we're going back to our beginning.
Well, yeah, because Bud Light are all,
They're loser-based customers. I told you they would. They lost $4 billion in revenue and shares because of that. How crazy is that? And the person who organized that campaign pretty much got fired.
You know he's never going to work in marketing again.
For real. At least not for a big company like that.
Career ending. I mean, maybe
Yes.
not for that type of company. It would
Yeah.
definitely have to be for a company that is branded to other
The LGBT
clientele.
community. Yeah.
Not Merc.
Yeah, but that was crazy. But anyways, I'm dressed like this because it's Cinco de Mayo coming. Cinco de Mayo coming. Which I really don't understand why they celebrate it here in America.
Cinco de Mayo is la batalla de Puebla, right?
Yes.
And what happened in
Puebla's
that
battle. So in that battle, Mexico defeated the French army, which they were trying to. If I believe correctly, they were trying to conquer the capital.
Mm-hmm.
And
The French.
the French. And the
Okay.
Mexicans were like, "Nah, fam," and they kicked their ass. And they celebrate because it was a very important win for the Mexican army back in the day.
So the French and the Mexicans.
We're at war.
So what's that gonna do with the United States?
We're neighbors. That's it.
They're not gonna celebrate a victory of ours. That
Apparently
literally
they
has
do.
nothing to do with them.
Apparently they do. And I mean, back in the day, because I think this was in the 1860s, for what I was reading, the French had like, they were owners of like half of the country here in the States. So, you know, like Louisiana and all that stuff. So whenever that was happening, they were trying to conquer some parts of Mexico. So that's why the American people were also celebrating, because they were trying to get over the other land that they didn't have yet, which they ended up buying anyway. So
It was in 1862.
there we go.
Just so we don't get confused with the 1960s.
For
Because it wasn't that long ago. 1862.
But yeah, but honestly, people have celebrated Cinco de Mayo as a let's get drunk kind of day ever since I remember.
But have you ever gone out on Cinco de Mayo? It is
Fuck
a
no.
mess. I did that shit once, and you are never gonna catch me outside on Cinco de Mayo. Obviously, every single Mexican restaurant is packed out. Obviously, all the Mexican
Awful.
clubs, all the Mexican bars, and for what? To get a $5 bill, $5 bill, or a $5 margarita.
Yeah, which is just completely watered down. Because I have worked I still do at Mexican restaurants, and I can tell you that $5 margarita is just water with some cheap tequila, throwing it there into some lime flavor. It's not good.
And you know what, too? Cinco de Mayo falls on a Friday this year.
Yeah.
You know people are going to get stupid.
For real.
Because they don't gotta work on Saturday. Unless you work in the restaurant industry.
Tell me about it, though. So, don't forget to tip your people, though. Don't forget to tip your waiter, your waitress. Like, if he's a guy and you see him sweating like an animal and smiling like a clown, make sure to tip that motherfucker. Because he's working.
It is the worst thing to be so busy and you have to have like a friendly face. Because you be stressed. You are stressed. And if you're stressed like me, you can't hide that shit on your face.
See, that's one of my superpowers, I think. Oh, hell no. We're going back with that COVID shit.
Okay. You can delete.
I ain't deleting shit.
You can delete the coughing. You don't. People don't need to hear me coughing.
Then get better.
I am.
What's up?
I'm not coughing like I was last week.
For real. But yeah, it's just make sure to tip the waiter, the waitress, and have some fucking patience with the hostess. Because usually the hostess is somebody that is between 16 and 17. Because if they were 18, they were serving. They'd be serving because they can make more money that way. So they're very young people. Some young
They don't know
girls.
what's going on.
Yeah. And
They literally just work there.
Yeah, don't yell at them because there's a 40-minute wait and you haven't been sat. Just relax.
You haven't been sat.
You haven't been sat, yeah. I was gonna say seated, but
Yeah.
Yeah. So just have patience. Don't scream at the fuck. Have patience. Don't yell at the staff. Don't yell at the manager. Remember that the kitchen is being underpaid.
Yeah, facts.
So just have some fucking patience with all that people.
So that's why you have the mask. Is that what
Fuck
you're telling me?
yeah.
Because you are
Celebrate it.
celebrating Cinco de Mayo.
I mean, not really
Cheers to my fucking mask.
Not celebrating Cinco de Mayo because it's not an important date in Mexican culture. I mean, we know it.
They ain't
We're
doing
like,
shit.
Yeah, but yeah, we don't do
They
shit.
ain't doing shit. On Friday, they're gonna go to work, same as usual.
Maybe they'll have the day off. So they have like a long
They
weekend.
do not have the day off.
Yeah,
Literally,
like,
Mexico does not celebrate, not even a single little bit, Cinco de Mayo.
Maybe they will get the day off, but they wouldn't go out and celebrate. That's what I'm
damn well
saying.
they're not getting the day off.
I think they will.
They will not. I think, I mean, we don't even get the day off for 15th of September.
True that. Which is Independence Day.
That is actually real Independence Day. So if you
Don't
think
confuse
that
it.
Cinco de Mayo is Independence Day, it is not. Educate yourself.
May the 5th, for those who don't know what Cinco de Mayo means. May the fucking 5th.
Who doesn't know what May the 5th
A
is?
lot of people. You'll be surprised.
Wait, isn't it?
I have...
Wait, no, that's May 4th, right?
Yeah,
May
the
the
Star
4th
Wars.
be with you.
May the 4th be with you. That's like Star Wars unofficial day. Yeah.
See, that's like nerd shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have Cinco de Mayo. I mean, you have 4th of May, and then you have Cinco de Mayo. I feel like that's like a perfect like nerd cocktail.
Everything is a nerd cocktail if you try hard enough. I forgot my thought. Shit. But yeah, just that.
Okay, so what's your name?
For what? Me? I'm Josh. What's up?
your character. What's your name?
La Parca,
La Parca.
which is the Grim Reaper. And actually, there's a very cool story about this guy. That this is the reason why he's my favorite luchador. And I read this a long time ago in a newspaper back in the day. He did an interview and he said that he came from humble beginnings. So whenever they went to the arena to watch him fight, he will stay there until every single person that line up or like all the crowd left, because he knew that some of those people will stay after the show to take pictures with the fighters.
Yeah.
So he was like, I was once one of those poor kids that like their parents had to save a bunch of money, and this will be like a very big event back in the day, no? So it would be really cool to get a picture with the fighter.
Right.
So because now I'm in that position, I want to give a little present to the kids. So he wouldn't leave until every single person that wanted to take a picture with him took a picture with him.
And he was for the fans.
Yeah, he was for the fans. He was like,
that's
I don't
dope.
give a fuck if like I gotta stay here like an extra 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not getting paid. Like if I can see a smile on those kids, because I know this is like a huge event for them and it's gonna be something they're gonna remember for a long time. Like I want to make sure that I'm not also like no pictures.
Yeah.
So that's why I really like this guy, and that's why I'm wearing actually this mask, because he's one of like the real OGs.
What's his year? What are the years that he was like popping?
Early 2000s, bro. I'll say early 2000s. I don't know exactly the days because I'm not the biggest fan. Like it's one of those like pop culture things, like
Yeah.
pop Mexican culture things that
I've never
you just
seen
know.
it.
No, you don't see it, but you know what a luchador is. You know, like the mask. You know what I'm saying? It's like in the culture. Even if you don't know it, you kind of know the culture that goes around.
Whenever I think of that, I think of that one other dude with the El Mascarilla.
I don't know.
You know who El Mascarilla is? He's the one with the gray mask. He was buff, naked. I feel like they're all buff and naked though. But like I've never seen that mask. I've seen El Mascarilla.
I think you're confusing him. No, you're confusing with El Santo.
Is it?
Yeah, it's El Santo. Look it up. El Santo.
El Mascarita. I'm sorry. Nope, that's not right.
No,
that's not right. That's definitely not right.
That's El Mascarita is a movie character from a narco movie.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. That is El Santo.
El Santo.
That is who I'm thinking about.
Yeah, that's one of the most popular ones. So he's another OG that already died. So he's like back in he was popular like in the 70s.
You said La Parca?
Yeah, La Parca.
Oh, La Parca Muerte. Okay, that's not it.
No, Luchador. And actually, this is not like the original mask because I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but like my face has like the Mexican flag on it.
Yeah.
And his is just white.
Okay, but I do see the reference with this right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, but like he is the Green Reaper.
Yeah.
So I don't even know his real name. But respects to that fella. But yeah, that's what I'm dressed like this.
His real name is Jesus Alfonso Huerta Escobar.
Escobar.
Escobaza, just kidding.
Okay.
Jesus Alfonso Huerta Escobaza.
AKA the Green Reaper. So respects to that guy for being there for the fans. Those are the kind of people that we gotta look up to.
Hell yeah.
Not those houses that deny you a picture. Just if you see him walking down the street.
But like, okay, people will be tripping about that because like I get that the fans are what made you, but at the same time, you can't be for the fans all the time. Like let's say you just got your ass beat in the ring, right? I get that you wanna wait for the fans or blah blah blah, but like bro, if you are bleeding and you need to go to the hospital ASAP, you're gonna be a little bit like, hey, I gotta go, like please don't touch me. You know what I'm saying?
It goes like that though, because like at least for combat sports, and I'm not saying this one, I mean they have been accidental deaths, but this is not a sport in which you want to injure your opponent.
This is more like the showy.
Yeah, this
like,
is the showy.
Like
this is like WWE.
The bullshit type thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, this is not like you're gonna get hurt, because like for example, the UFC, whenever somebody gets fucked up really hard, like they don't go back.
They're there for real.
Yeah.
Like those are real putazos.
Those are real fucking punches. So they don't let them walk outside. Like they get checked by the doctor, and if the doctor is like, no, fine, you go straight to the hospital.
Yeah.
That's it. You know.
But that's real shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is more of like you can't see.
Exactly. Exactly.
John Cena. You're so upbeat. It's okay though.
So, what I'm saying is, if you're like a public figure like that, then yeah, I mean, you show some respect. Maybe if you're not in the mood, that's part of your job. So just be like, oh, okay, like fake a smile. You know, like working at a restaurant, you gotta fake a smile sometimes. Just fake a smile, take a picture, hear the click, and be like.
But you know damn well that picture gonna look ugly as hell. You're gonna be like. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. But you can't hide your face. It's like whatever it's on your feeling. It's really hard to hide that shit.
Some people though. I feel like I can actually kind of like fake a smile and be like, yeah, he's having a good time. I'm like, bro, I wish the world would die today. You know.
I mean, I literally have the worst memory in the fucking world. Like you can ask any of my friends. Like I'll be like, yeah, we made plans and like
when?
Did I? You gotta tell me, you gotta remind me a week before. First of all, here's the way it works. You have to make plans a week in advance. You have to remind me 5 days before. And you have to remind me again 3 days before. And I'll be like,
and
all right,
bet.
And the day after, be like, hey, just make sure we're still on. I'll be like, fuck yeah, we're still on. But if you don't remind me, I will make other plans and I will just completely forget.
Hell no.
That's another toxic trait.
It is, though.
Okay, so new week. You going first or am I going first?
Go ahead. I already gave my first one. I just want to take Cinco de Mayo because I kind of love-hate that day, but that's because I work in the restaurant.
Yeah, I worked at a Mexican restaurant once, and it was
it's
for Cinco de Mayo, and it was not the move.
Yeah.
It was not the move.
It's just that people are very impatient.
Yeah, it's a national trait.
It's a bad trait.
I mean, we're so used to getting everything, like,
Yeah, but that's a bad thing.
I mean, yeah, definitely, but it's what we're used to. What do you expect from us?
Intelligence. We're supposed to be the best country in the world.
Child, that's not true.
We are supposed to. I never said we were.
But
I
damn
love the
well that
country,
is
but
not true.
I know, I know.
Okay, so today's Monday, May 1st, which is Met Gala Monday.
Oh yeah.
You just watched the Met Gala for the first time.
Kinda did.
You were listening here and there. What did you think?
Okay, I'll give you my honest opinion just because as someone who has heard of the event but never really pay attention to it, I think that's a very, and this is just me, I'm talking for me, not the podcast, not her, just me, a very useless event. Because, okay, this is what I saw. I saw people walking down a carpet, taking pictures, talking about who designed their clothes, and that was it.
Okay.
People just walk in the building and there were no cameras allowed. There were no video recording allowed. There was nothing going on
like
allowed.
Inside the building.
Inside the building, which is supposed to be the main event.
Right.
So to me, it's like stepping outside of like a Target or like a, what do you call that store? The clothes store.
The what clothes store?
Yeah, not Ross, but the other one.
Marshalls?
The other one.
Fuck, I don't know, TJ Maxx?
Yeah, TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx.
It's like stepping outside for TJ Maxx and be like, hey, what you gonna buy? Shoes and a shirt. Bet, let's go to our next contestant. You know? Like,
okay, but here's the thing about that. So the Met Gala is actually a charity event.
Okay.
Which is at the Metropolitan Museum in New York, which is why it's called the Met Gala. Go ahead and cough.
No, I'm fixing my mask. It's getting hot in this bitch.
So, yeah, it's fucking hot with these lights, too. So, excuse me, I don't know how the donations work. Actually, we don't. So, you buy a table. There's, like, a certain number of tables. I don't know the number. But I know that there's a certain table that brands, designers, and companies will buy. So, if you go with, for example, you go with Moshin. No, I don't know. I don't
Just
know
say names. I'm not gonna.
So
no, anyway.
if you go for example with
JC
fuck that's brain part. So for example, like, let's say Instagram buys a table.
Okay.
And Instagram will invite a couple of people, a couple of influencers. Instagram purchases that table, and like I think a table is like 120 or something like that. Like
shit.
Yeah. And part of that money goes to the Met. Okay. To some, we should really fucking, and they actually, no, because they actually said this on the, they actually said this earlier on the show, so.
Okay, well, you find that out, this is the interesting thing to me that, why I think it's useless, because the people who participate in that know what it is about, but me as an spectator,
yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why should I care? You know, like, if I see, like, the Oscars, for example, I'll be like, oh, okay, like, maybe I know a little bit of cameras and a little bit of acting, so I'm like, oh, yeah, he should win the Oscar because he will win the extra mile, and he really put in his shoes, and he was, like, all fucked up mentally and all that shit, and if I see the camera work, I'm like, oh, yeah, this was, like, a great shot, because, like, it was a 3-minute shot, and you see all the camera work, and, like, how he went in there, and they were very creative, moving the camera around the wall, and all that shit, you know?
Yeah.
And when I see this shit, it's just rich people dressed in rich clothes, walking down an aisle.
But that's the thing, that you said it correctly when you first started your statement. That's because you don't know about it.
Exactly.
And obviously they don't put a lot of emphasis on like the actual live stream, because the live stream is for the fashion, and that is like the main thing, right? Mm-hmm. But within the fashion industry, so what it does is that it raises money for the Met Arts Costume Institute. I don't really know what that means, to be honest with you. So, like, for me, that means, like, okay, are you purchasing costumes for the Met? But the Met is a museum, so are you purchasing costumes for the exhibits? You know what I'm saying? Like, where is the money really going to? I'm not really sure.
Okay, so that would be a great question, because, I mean, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, you and I are, like, I don't know where the fuck the money's going to, but it is a fundraiser for the Met's Costume Institute. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it means for, like, the if it's a costume institute, I wonder if it's for like Broadway and the costuming department.
I don't think I ever saw like I've never seen a lot of Broadway shows, but I've seen two, and I've never seen dresses like that though, so I don't know.
It's not like obviously like if you are in a Broadway show, it's not gonna be like the dresses that we saw, right? But it's gonna be costumes for that play. You know what I'm saying? So like if you're watching Phantom of the Opera and you know what the costumes look like, and the Met Gala purchase. Actually, I really have no idea where the fuck that money's going to. That's a really good fucking question. Where the fuck is that money going to?
Cause see, like going back to my example of the Oscars, like somebody's getting recognized for their job, while in this one, you see the people already dressed in those like designer clothes. Mm-hmm. And like you say, it's a fundraiser, but like for what? At least in the Oscars, somebody's gonna win because they did a good job acting or directing or a photography, something like that. But here is like, what's the purpose and where does the money go?
I mean, at the end of the day, you know damn well that the art industry is also like a scheme, like a tax scheme. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I'm thinking it has to do a little bit more of like that. Is it a tax write-off, kind of? Maybe.
I mean, it could. Because, it's just wealthy people giving money to other wealthy people. Like, the fuck?
I mean...
And I'm not gonna lie. If they were to invite me to one of those, I will absolutely go. For the connections. For the cloud.
Not the cloud.
For just experience. I mean, think about it. Like, at least for me, though. Because I don't follow... I knew, like, probably 4 of those people that walked down the gala. I don't remember the last time I heard about Cardi B. And she looked fucking gorgeous.
She looked good. She ate.
Until she spoke. That's was the racist. Moment. No, it's not racist, though. No, I'm not saying because she looks black.
She is black. But no. It's not that. It's because you're saying because of the way she speaks, she doesn't deserve to be in that type of caliber?
No, fuck that. I didn't say that. What I meant was, like, she looked beautiful, but it's like... Whenever you see like for example, you as a woman, a cute guy, and he looks tall and he looks buff and he looks like well cut and all that shit, and then you walk by and he's like, "Damn, bitch, you got a fat ass," like it's like
that kind of kills it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I see what you're saying.
So I'm not saying I'm not. Well, you can never say I'm not racist and make a statement, but I'm not saying because she's black. Because people are beautiful, there's beautiful black women and there are ugly black women. There are beautiful Mexican women and there are ugly Mexican women. So, I mean, her skin color has nothing to do with the gala. I'm just saying that the way she spoke in that event maybe kind of like lower her down a little bit because I'm like, okay, you need to be a little more proper. You need to like... Maybe
it was a properness of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was inappropriate for the type of event.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I see your point, but at the same time, like that's who she is to her core. And it's like, there's a time and a place. And if she's... But, like, even, like, all of her interviews, like, even, like, she has said some wild shit on interviews and, like, even award shows. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, like, yes, but no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's who she is. She looked amazing. She really ate and left no crumbs for nobody. So, I don't know, like, the way that she spoke was definitely, like a little you could have cleaned up the dialogue a little bit. Yeah. But if she didn't, that's fine.
And like that remember that scene in Titanic? Ooh, back in the day, whenever Leo is sitting at the table with like all these fancy people, and there's this like chubby girl, and she's like, doesn't matter how you dress, you will never be up to their standards or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it was. Like, she's wealthy, she has the clout, she has the fame, she has the money, but because of like how she grew up, that's something that is in her bones. Yeah. She will, like, she might be in the gala, but she's not going to be part of the gala 100%, like, or like somebody who wasn't born into it.
But then you have to take that same analogy to, like, okay, Leo was there and he faked it till he made it, right? But
he was never accepted by, like, the upper class.
Yeah, but I feel like that's changing now with, like, the times that we are living now, because this new money is also coming with this new attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like, this millennials, Gen Zs, and Gen Alpha,
Huh?
Yeah, Gen Alpha.
I never heard
That's
that
the
shit.
That's the new generation.
What the
That's like the
fuck?
6, 7 year olds. Have you heard them speak?
No.
They are they are on a different level.
Generation
of,
Alpha.
Yeah, that's before Gen Z, or after Gen Z, I guess you could say.
So this is like 2010.
This
kids?
is like 2010 kids. Yeah. Wait, Gen Z is from 2000s to 2010, right? No,
because I'm a millennial.
A generation is every 25 years?
Yeah, 20,
Okay.
25 years.
So these are like...
Okay, let's say it's the last generation.
2015. The newest generation. Generation
But
Alpha.
what the fuck is it called Alpha? They got nothing Alpha going on for them yet.
You don't know what... Why is... I don't know. Maybe
I'm gonna look that shit
maybe
up.
the COVID babies are gonna be COVID generation. I don't know.
Yeah, just like the boomers.
I mean, I get why the boomers are called boomers, but why is Gen X called Gen X?
Because they were supposed to like not be part of any like mental spectrum. Like
Okay, what about Gen Z? I can see why millennials are called millennials because of the new millennium, but why is Gen Z called Gen Z?
Because it's the last letter before like a new millennium. Dun, dun, dun. I don't fucking know.
You know what we should do right there? We should have a little. You remember the girl with the math and just like zoom it in? That's what the fuck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That's a lot of fucking work. That's a lot of fucking editing that I'm not willing to do yet. Maybe when we hire somebody that can do this shit like full time.
Anyways, I think Cardi B, if she talks like that, I mean, I feel her. I think I'll be the same way. Like, she's not. What I really fuck with her is that no matter how much she climbs up, Cardi B is Cardi B, and she's gonna be with her little, you know, the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is. She does give me that vibe of like she's still gonna stick to her core.
Oh yeah.
No matter how much success she gains.
But,
so I did fuck with her on that. Like,
okay, but have you ever heard her say that you might be underdressed but can never be dressed enough in a situation? You can never.
You want to be you never want to be underdressed, but it's okay to be overdressed.
No, you can never be under. You can. It's something like that. You know what I was saying?
I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah. Hold up. I think it was like you can never be under too dressed, but you will definitely be underdressed.
Mm-hmm.
So by that analogy, I feel like given the occasion, and because of her status, she might be okay. Like this is who I am, but like this is like a high event, like very high class. So maybe like tune it down a little bit to fit better, just because like the occasion requires. Like
so conform to the status quo.
No, because this is the thing. Like me, for example, I'm a motherfucker that laughs at everything.
Yeah,
but if I go to
very rude.
But if I go to a funeral, I will shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because it's disrespectful and doesn't go with the event at the moment.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like I know that's a very like extreme example, but I'm just giving you like a mirror of like what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I feel like that will be the same thing. Don't you think? Like maybe because this is like a high event, maybe put a little more class, or not a class, but like.
But I mean, yeah, it is class.
Yeah.
I think at this point in this situation, I think it is class, but at the same time, like I feel you, but I don't feel you. You know what I'm saying? Anywho's, so yeah, Cardi B slayed. But I'm gonna tell you who I thought slayed the house down, and then I can help with the editing too. Like, I'm gonna put pictures on this shit.
Okay.
So these are the motherfuckers that slayed, left no crumbs. Were on the theme. The theme this year was honoring Karl Lagerfeld.
Okay, so explain to me who he is, because everybody, and I saw this woman with this long, I guess you call it like a tail, like a wedding tail.
It's called a train.
Okay, a train, and honestly,
wait, is it called a train?
I don't know. To me, the picture that looked like that, like the picture that was embroidered on the thing, to me, it looked like Joe Biden.
Oh my gosh, you were fucking talking. It wasn't even a girl. It was actually Jeremy Pope.
I'm talking about the picture on the.
I know what you're talking about.
Tail.
So that is Karl Lagerfeld. So who Karl Lagerfeld is? He's a very revolutionary. He was a very revolutionary designer in the world of fashion. He designed for many big houses like Chanel. Well, I mean, I think Chanel is like his biggest house that he kind of turned around for. His legacy kind of started at like. Chanel was kind of like this dying brand, and then And then once he joined Chanel, he like absolutely revitalized everything. But hold on, let me look this up. Karl Lagerfeld.
Okay, so I thought that Chanel was so let me get this straight. Chanel is a brand, and he's the designer that designed the clothes or like the articles.
He will be
Chanel.
like the creative director. Like he would design pieces. He would create a lot of fashion shows. He was mainly known for a lot of his fashion shows that were like completely outside of the box, totally unique. Like I think his most like talked about fashion show was in a grocery store. So you know how fashion often tries to imitate what's going on in life and in a very dystopian world. Like for example, there was a show that Kanye West did.
The Yeezy thing?
I don't know if it was for his own brand that was Yeezy, but I know he did a show that the models were wearing, you know, all high brand, you know, like super fancy type shit, but the runway was mud, which was representing the society that we are now and the world that we were living in. Now, I think this happened within 2020, 2022. Like
really? So last year?
Yeah, it was very recent. I want to say it was between 2020 and 2022. But it represented pretty much like, oh, like we have all the top of the top, but then also the low. Like we have people starving, but we have the 2% holding all the wealth.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
I mean, if I remember correctly, Kanye West didn't come from money, right? He's self-made.
I don't know. Is he?
I think he was self-made.
Is he?
I think he is. Because I mean, unlike the Kardashians, like we all know that his dad was the one with the influence and the connections and the money, and then they just capitalized on it.
So anyway, this is who Karl Lagerfeld was. Like he was a very influential person in the world of fashion for many, 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 many years. A lot of people in the fashion industry knew he was. He was very respected, and he passed away. When did he pass away? Let me see. When did he die?
I mean, it should have been this long, right?
So he passed away in 2019.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so this was 4 years ago.
So why are they celebrating him now?
Because I think it's because they make the Met Gala like years prior, so in I don't think we had a Met Gala in 2020, but in 2021 it was like American theme or something like that. Hold on. Met Gala.
Pulling up all facts.
Yeah. Okay. So whoops. I'm at 2021. Oh, did we not have a 2021?
I mean,
okay.
COVID was
so
strong
2021 was the theme was America, which was like very, very fucking lame. And then in 2022 it was like the continuation of America. So I don't know if they had it planned back to back, but this year was just to honor his life, his legacy, and everything like that. So that's why you kept hearing him, and like the host Lala kept asking him like, oh, like what do you think of Karl? Like what was your favorite memory? And like, cause like all of this big models like had worked with him, like Naomi Campbell, Carly Kloss, Kate Moss. They had all, and these are all like super iconic models in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, like especially that 90s era when the supermodel was really like
booming.
That aspiration to be like, oh shit, like you're a supermodel, you know what I'm saying? Like the way that the supermodel was in the 90s was way bigger than it is today.
Okay.
Yes, because then you have like Naomi Campbell, Heidi Klum, Tom Brady's ex-wife. I'm blanking out her name right now.
She's not that famous.
Giselle.
I like that name.
So let me tell you who slayed the house down. No questions asked. Oh, and the reason why you kept seeing a lot of cats was because Karl Lagerfeld was known for carrying his cat everywhere he went.
Okay, I gotta say something. I got a little note to say about that shit. Because I was kind of like fucking around my phone while the gala was happening, but I was hearing it in the background.
Yeah.
And one of the hosts, was it like from the gala? Was it from like a YouTube channel? What was it? Where were we watching it from?
We were watching on Vogue.
Okay, so one of the hosts from Vogue, like I was hearing in the background, and I just hear that because Jared Leto wore like a cat costume.
Yes.
And he just straight up goes on camera live. He goes, Jared Leto be looking like a pussy. And I was like, oh,
Yes, she did say that.
I broke my neck
did.
looking at the TV. I opened my eyes wide open and say, the fuck?
Yeah.
He's a pretty boy, but he ain't no pussy.
He said he looked like he's what did he say? He said something. He said the word.
He said pussy.
But he meant it as like pussycat.
Yeah, I know, but he also meant it the other way. You
No,
can
I mean,
bullshit.
I was definitely one of those moments where I was like, "What did he say?"
Yeah.
But
It had a double connotation.
I mean, I got right away that he was talking about a cat because I knew what was being talked about.
Yeah,
For example,
but at the same
you
time-
that you didn't know, you heard that, you're like, "What the fuck?" That's been said on
But
TV.
I mean, I knew that he was dressed as a cat, but why he couldn't just say, "Hey, he's dressed as a cat"?
Because
he said it in a double sentence.
because the fashion world is cunty, and they're gonna keep doing that shit.
I mean, I know, but like at the same time, I was a little shit. I was like, "The fuck?" Because I mean, everybody knows that Jared Leto is a good-looking motherfucker, and he was actually, I think, a model.
He's actually crazy.
He was a model and and a musician before he became an actor, I believe.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because
I mean,
he was
he's-
known as a pretty boy, like.
He's
Since
very
ever.
like out there. Like I know like based on his past Met Gala looks, he's very he's very out there as far as like I know he thinks weird. Like he at one Met Gala one of his accessories was his own head.
Hey, how cool is that?
He did that and they were like, what the fuck? So I wasn't surprised that he dressed up as a cat, and I thought that was a very
It was
I
clever.
honestly loved all the cat references because like his cat was fucking beautiful, and like I know the cat's name is Choupette, if I'm saying it right, and you know that cat's living better than both of us. So
he's part of that 1%.
so I think Miss Doja Cat, of course, she showed up as a cat, and I think that's so perfect for her brand because obviously her name is fucking Doja Cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely gonna catch some attention now.
Yeah, Lil Nas X also slayed the house down. I think his reference as a cat was a little bit less obvious, but he was definitely going for that shock factor. But that's what Lil Nas X is. He's here for the shock value.
Is he a rapper?
He's
It's not that name.
I don't
Is that the
think
guy that's sung with Billy Ray Cyrus?
yeah.
Okay.
Is he a rapper?
I
I
mean,
don't think
he
he's a
made-
rapper, but I mean he's
He's a country rapper.
he's not a
Let's leave it at
country.
that.
That's
He
the only
did a
country.
song.
That's the only country song he
And
has.
that's the only one he's famous for.
that you know.
Exactly,
Yeah,
because it
but
became
knows-
main.
He's made a lot of other music.
But
So,
that's his most famous one.
Miss Dua
The 90s
Lipa
and shit.
slayed the house down.
Dua Lipa went?
Yeah, she was like one of the first ones.
I didn't say the first
One
I was outside
one
working.
thing about Dua Lipa is that you put pressure on that girl, she's gonna
shine.
She is going to deliver. You bully her enough, and she's going to change her shit.
Same thing happened when she was start dancing.
She got bullied so much for her dancing.
Her
She was
potato
like,
dancing.
yeah, her little washing machine dancing. She got bullied so much. She went, all right, I'm gonna go take some dance lessons, and she did the thing. So
Hey, bowling can be good.
sometimes
Hey, she became a better person out of it. People lose
she
weight.
became a
out
better
of it.
performer. Yeah.
That's her fucking job. She should have.
We did have some Latinas in this hoe, which was amazing. That looked great. Miss Penelope Cruz and Salma Hayek.
Beauty bitches.
They both slayed the house down. Miss Anne Hathaway, she never misses.
What do
She
people hate
never
on her?
misses. Who hates on her?
I don't know. I've seen the internet sometimes hating
I
her.
have never seen anybody hate on Anne Hathaway.
I've seen people making memes of her. I think she's a beautiful
queen.
woman.
She
really
is such. She's literally like such a talented person, and
True.
she's so like you know like
She
with the pancake.
she really looks like a classy woman. You know, like she
She-
can become like royalty.
She gives class. Well, did you hear like about like that she's
The movie? The
no,
one that
no,
she
no,
did?
no,
Oh, no.
what is that famous? Who wrote Romeo and Juliet? Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
So, have you heard that Anne Hathaway is? Have you heard that Anne Hathaway is Shakespeare's wife reincarnated?
Oh, yeah. I've seen the
Isn't
pictures.
that crazy? So she's
Not
like the
because
house
of the
down.
pictures, though. Not because
And her
of,
name
like-
was also Anne Hathaway, or some shit like that.
If you could see, my eyebrows went up.
So she slayed the house down. She never misses. She's amazing. I don't know how to say these girls' names, but Anok Yai? I don't know. I've never heard of her before this, but I looked her up. She's a model, amazing, beautiful. Miss Billie Eilish and Phineas slayed the house down. Her eye makeup was great. She did a damn thing. Beautiful. I'm gonna have to give it to Miss Kim Kardashian. Her outfit was popping.
She looked beautiful.
She looked great. I think like, she looked
she's
great.
One of the few that I actually watch on the TV. She looked gorgeous.
One thing about Kim Kardashian is that she's gonna deliver. Like, people love to hate on her, but she's gonna do her homework, and she's going to deliver everything.
But I feel like she is a Phoenix story. Because she just was born from the ashes. Because let's
born from the sex tape.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say.
Born from the cum on her face.
I think it was in her bag. but that's what I'm saying. Like, she became famous out of nothing, and people hate on her for the longest of time, including me. Like, honestly, I throw a lot of shit on her. I think privately. Yeah. But then she started doing all this charity work, and she became a lawyer or some kind of shit like that, and
she's
she started
a lawyer now, yeah,
doing good things for people, and then now she's doing all this, and honestly, that's how you earn respect, by doing these kind of good things instead of just being a rich famous bitch for no reason.
I mean, I think that she has definitely earned her spot. She has earned her name. She has earned all of the titles. People love to hate on her, but honestly, I think Kim Kardashian really is that bitch.
I could say I was a hater of Kim Kardashian now.
You were a big hater.
And I admire how her transformation, Yeah. She went from being this stupid bitch, honestly, to becoming this badass bitch.
Honestly, yeah, because she was voted top 10 dumbest celebrities. Back in the day, when she first started. And now, dude, she can hold her own. I think Kim K is such a good story.
She's becoming a good role model now.
We've had this conversation before too, that you don't think she's gonna be an icon as far as Madonna, Michael Jackson, that type of Freddie
Nobody
Mercury.
will ever become as big as Michael Jackson. Okay, he's out of the picture. He's on.
But I think that Kim K really is an icon when it comes to when you think of icons. Who do you think of? Name 3 people.
Michael Jackson. I mean, icons.
Period. Icons. Any icons. I don't care if it's
Marilyn
music. Monroe. Okay, Marilyn Monroe.
And John Lennon.
Okay.
People that everybody knows.
Everybody knows. I think that I think she's at that spot now. But if not, I think that whenever she moves on from this earth, I think that she will be an icon. She will be remembered as much as Marilyn Monroe was remembered. She will be remembered as much as Freddie Mercury was remembered. I think so. I put a lot of money on it. I think that will happen. So she slayed the house down. Jared Leto, we already talked about that. Okay, so another one was Russell Westbrook.
Is that the tall dude?
He was the guy that wore this. He was fucking tall. Yeah,
he was a fucking mountain.
Yeah, he's a basketball player.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he slayed the house down. Him and I think his wife, was it? I don't know. His date was amazing. He really killed that, for real. Another one. I don't know who this is. Maybe it's a typo.
Whoa.
I don't know who this is. Miss Kendall Jenner. I'm gonna have to give it to her. I'm actually a really hater of Miss Kendall Jenner.
Is she the one that is fucking Bad Bunny now?
Yes. Okay. Well, I don't think they're really fucking. I don't.
He
don't even speak English.
No, you don't.
He don't even speak English.
Mama, chúpame la pinga. That's all you need to know. That's all
you know. Damn, she's gonna go to the carne asada and she's gonna be the whitest. She gives me the vibes of how Bad Bunny's super Latino.
Yeah.
And how Taylor Swift is super white.
Yeah.
It gives me those types of vibes, and I think it's very obvious this is a PR stunt and this is a business relationship. I'm very glad they were not together at the Met Gala. Although Vogue, you think you slick, but when they were interviewing Miss Kendall Jenner, Bad Bunny happened to be in the bar in the red carpet, and they put their images side by side, and I was like, I know that's a stunt. Y'all not fooling me. But anyways,
that is bananas.
Mr. Bad Bunny.
I'm
gonna give him a 7 out of 10. I'm not even gonna lie. Alton Mason slayed the house down. Absolutely, he's the one that wore this. I think you're gonna love it.
I mean, I think I would love to interview Bad Bunny. I feel like he's such an interesting character.
Okay, Alton Mason wore a fucking bridal gown. It
put it near my face because I don't got my glasses, bro.
Oh, that's right. Alton Mason wore this beautiful bodysuit with the veil, and it was
That was my phone. I'm sorry.
very much giving obviously Karl Lagerfeld Bride, and it was amazing. I think he's probably one of my favorite looks of the night, to be honest with you. Him, Anne Hathaway, and the girl that I can't pronounce her name.
Okay, so let me ask you. Okay, are you almost finished with your list?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then Cardi and then Jeremy Pope, they all slide the house down.
Okay, I got a question.
Amazing.
Just like, cause I feel like I'm old school in this regard, but honest question, was that dude gay?
I have no idea. I actually have no idea who he is. I don't know who Alton Mason is.
Because I
Like, I
feel
don't know
like
what he does.
at least here in America, like I don't know about the rest of the world. I know certainly not in Mexico, we're as open as here in the States. But like to me, it's been such a polarizing topic, like all this LGBT community and then translation, all this, that if I see this, I feel like he's making a statement that yeah, like LGBT pride and all that shit. So that's why I'm legit asking if he's gay or not.
He is a model.
Yeah, but I feel like
But it's important to know that he's a model. I don't know his sexual preference. I wouldn't be able to tell you off of these pictures. Also like fashion is very unisex at some points, and I think that that's such a huge thing when it comes to fashion. Like women wear men's suits sometimes, men wear dresses sometimes. Like Bad Bunny wore a skirt or like some shit like that, and it's not always like, oh, pride. Like Bad Bunny is straight. He has said he's straight. Actually, I don't know if he's ever said that he's straight all the way.
He might be bisexual. I'll give you that.
He does give me a little bit of bisexual vibes.
Yeah.
But he's very. He's never been with a man though. He's never been
That
publicly.
we know of.
But he has said that
Ricky
he's very
Martin
like
was straight
androgynous.
for like 20 years. So.
That's true. He has also said that he's very androgynous when it comes to his wardrobe sometimes, and I think that there is a maybe like a middle ground when it comes to fashion when it's talking about androgyny, and it's like a little bit more feminine and masculine, and I do like that about fashion. Like for example, Kirsten Stewart was there, and I didn't recognize her at first.
Is that the one from Twilight?
Yeah.
Okay. She's cute.
She's so cute, and she's she's like full lesbian now, right?
I didn't know, but
like remember when we went to Miami and you saw her with the short haircut, and you're like, yeah. She
yeah.
looked good as fuck. One thing about her,
yeah.
she can
pull up short hair.
She looked good with the short hair.
Not all girls can do that.
And I saw her today, and I didn't recognize her. her suit was very masculine. So I mean, obviously she's fucking gay, but I do like that about fashion. That men can wear skirts, women can wear a man suit. Like if you like, not to like say anything, but like if you were to like wear a skirt, like a long skirt, and I don't know, a corset, and like make that fashion, that would be so good because it's about the clothes. It's literally about the fashion. It's not about your sex. It's not about your sexual preferences. It's about the statement that you are making in the fashion.
Okay, because that's what I was thinking. Because it's such a polarizing topic at the moment. Like every weekend there seems to be like a new controversy. Controversy. Yeah, about like the LGBT community and all this kind of shit. So that's what I was asking, because I feel like nowadays if somebody does that, it feels like he's making a statement about that community. So that's what my question was.
I mean, I see why you would think that, but I think that it's important to know that with fashion, that line becomes very blurred because it's art.
Interesting.
So like, you know, like those art pieces that is literally like a splat of paint. They're like, oh my gosh, it's talking about the torture, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's literally like a splotch of paint.
Yeah.
You made me cough.
Yeah, because I mean back.
Hold
on. Damn, son.
At least it's not as bad as last week. Last week was fucking gross.
Just coughing.
So okay, hold on. So I think that's very important. Like when it comes to fashion, you have to think of it like art.
Okay.
Don't. I feel like it's a little bit irresponsible to say at some point, because if you don't look at everything that it's offering, like if it's a man wearing a dress or whatever, it is making a statement on today's society of like how much is shifting.
Yeah.
When it comes to like sexual preferences and shit like that.
It's just that it's such a strong topic that everyone is talking about, and it's very they're pushing it so hard onto like everyday Joes that it feels like everything that, like in this case, like this dude dressing up with a bride's dress, it feels like he's making a statement about this community, you know? Because I mean, we're talking about it not, like
Yeah. I mean, I hear
me
you.
that I don't follow this industry, you know,
Yeah.
like maybe because I mean the fashion industry might be small, because I mean not
It's
everybody
huge.
knows. It's huge within. But I mean, if you talk about like every person, like it's not gonna be as big as football. It's not gonna be as big as the Oscars.
Okay,
You know
I see
what I'm
you're
saying?
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So it's not as big.
Yeah.
So it's like a little more secluded. So if you're not into it, you don't know what the fuck is going on.
Right. Right.
So as an everyday Joe, if you see that shit, you're gonna be like, that dude is making a statement about this problem. Because I mean, we already talked about this in this podcast
Right.
a couple times. You know, like the Bud Light controversy,
Right.
and then the school shooting that
Yeah.
the girl was
Transgender. Yeah,
and all that shit. So I mean, there's a lot of problems with that community right now. So because of all that cloud, it makes me think somebody that is outside the community
Right.
that might be part of it.
Right.
So that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Like a legit question instead of criticizing.
Yeah. No. I didn't think that you were criticizing by any means, but I think it's important to know
Oh yeah, definitely.
that when it comes to fashion, it's not.
The line becomes blurry.
Yeah, I think it does become blurry because fashion equals art equals confusion.
I like that quote. I'm gonna write it down.
I mean, yeah, because like think about it, like it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. So it is a
We're
dude.
coining that fucking phrase on the podcast.
So
bitch.
it is a man in a bridal setting. So it is a guy, but it is on a bridal setting.
Right.
So yeah, I think you're right when you say like you have to be within that community to
Understand it.
not look at it so black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I mean, I respect it. I thought it was an interesting choice. Like, my first thought was that he's probably making a statement, you know, about, like, all this shit. But now that you explain it to me,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it makes more sense.
Okay, well, that's funny that you said
And
that.
that's a healthy conversation, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it is. But I think it's funny that you say that that's the first thing that you thought when you saw that outfit that, you know. My first thought was, oh, he looks good as fuck. Like, the veil is giving, the corset is giving, the bodysuit was giving, the face was giving, everything that needed to be given.
Okay, but in that context, do we have time?
Yeah.
In that context, like, let's say if you're going out with your husband, your boyfriend, your whatever at the moment, will you be comfortable with him wearing that? Or like, when would it be okay for the man to wear that shit? Because I personally feel like I would never wear that.
I mean, but that's you.
Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, in which context would it be okay, or is it just for the gala and that's it?
No. I don't think it's just for the gala. I think, for example, if I were to be with a man, like getting married to a man that is also very into fashion and is very androgynous when it comes to things like that. If I have that understanding with that person, I'd be like, you want to wear a corset and a veil? Cool, maybe I'll wear a suit. And then it's not because we want to
make a statement about it.
It's not because we would want to like define roles and like switch them. It would be like, oh, I see what you're saying. Like this is a little bit more avant-garde, more high risk taking fashion, and I would be down with that. Like I feel like I really would be if my man was, or shit, my woman. I don't care whoever I marry. If I
news. Okay. We just flip a fucking coin live on camera. I'm marrying a woman. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've never told you that. I mean, shit, you want to talk about it right now?
No. Hey,
hold on.
Hold on.
No, I mean, because that's some real shit right there.
Fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I love you anyway. You're my brother no matter fucking what.
I know, but it's just like, I've never said that shit like out loud to like my family. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, but we're bros. I don't give
know.
a fuck. You're my bro. I always got you. I don't give a fuck.
You make
if
me
you're
cry.
weird.
Stop it. Enough.
I don't give a fuck if you're weird.
Yeah, I mean that's some real shit though. Like I guess shit. I'm out the closet. I'm on the fucking closet.
Okay,
Yeah,
just don't do fucking like just don't go like full transsexual and like do all the
I
crazy
mean, no,
shit.
I'm not gonna change my gender, but yeah, I'm very much very very bi, and a lot of every single one of my
Hey,
friends
fuck it.
knows it.
Just just don't be like okay. This is my thing about that. Like making a little parenthesis.
Yeah,
I respect people's preferences. It's just that the fact that sometimes people are too public about it is what makes it uncomfortable. Like I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck if you kiss a man or a woman,
yeah,
but just don't do it in public in such a exhibitionist way. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
if you're in a straight relationship, kiss a man and a woman, just like let's go, baby. You know.
yeah. I'm
But
not
like,
gonna like full on make out with you right then and there. That's
exactly.
uncomfortable
That's
for
what I'm
anybody.
saying. But like that's I don't know if it's a stereotype, but all stereotypes are based on truth. But like gay couples sometimes do that in public, and it's like, bro, I don't want to see you not kissing because you're gay. I don't want to see you kissing period because there's like a more like a sexual act
Yeah, yeah,
that I
yeah.
don't want to see in public.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're
That's
saying.
all my thing.
Anywho's, we were talking about fashion. Cheers to that.
Fuck that.
So yeah, like, let's say like if I do marry like a woman that wants to dress in a suit, I'll be like, shit, as long as you look hot, I'm with it. Like I'm very open to that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, I just
It got interesting.
it
got
got real quick, but I don't know.
That's okay. People will look upon this and be like, yeah.
It's just crazy, man. You don't think about shit like this. Like how do you tell your family?
There's some shit that
Especially like with our family, like you know.
I don't think we're the most conservative family in the world.
Have you seen it?
No. I feel like this is.
I'm so afraid to come out to mom. Like I'm so afraid of that.
No, it's not that it's afraid. It's just that your thing is that you don't understand that there are different generations, and there's this beautiful phrase that you cannot judge the ignorance of the past with the knowledge of the present.
Ooh, I like that.
So you cannot judge the way she was raised,
Right.
and expect her to agree with the shit that is going on today.
Right.
It's like grandpas today, like they see black people and they're like, oh, you know, like they might have a little trouble because they might grow up, well, like maybe when they were kids they had like black slaves in their family, and I'm talking like 80-90 year old like men right now.
Yeah.
So like maybe they will see like black people as inferior, and not say with disrespect, but like it's the history of the fucking country, like you cannot change that. What I was saying is like you cannot expect someone from a previous generation to understand what's going on in this generation.
Right.
So instead of being afraid, just find ways to communicate with a past generation instead of just like cursing them as stupid or ignorant.
It's not stupid or ignorant. It's more of like the way that they're so
Because it's the way
set in their ways.
Yeah.
Like
But I mean,
it's
if you
very
think-
like being Gates is saying, you know, like that type of shit. And it's like, hold on. How do you open somebody's mind up, especially as their family? Be like, this is the way that I am. Excuse me. Like, this is the way that I am, and it has literally nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, you know, like, I don't know. What do you think of the statement that people are born this way?
I don't know. That's a whole different topic that I feel like there's a lot of confusion going on right now.
Maybe we should talk about that when it's Pride Month.
Okay, I'm down.
I mean that
Because I feel like we have two different opinions about it. So
we
it'll
do
be healthy.
absolutely.
So it'll be healthy to see each other's point of view.
I think it would be very interesting for you to see my point of view.
And I think it will be interesting for you to understand my perspective.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you just know the base. Like we know the base about each other's perspective, but we never like dive deep into it.
What a beautiful moment.
Bro,
Like high
don't give a
key.
fuck.
I mean,
I'm
I
checking
know.
that shit.
I mean, I know, but like at the same time, like,
That's a
I know
core
the way.
memory.
I know the way you think.
That's a core
So
memory.
it's just like.
But see, okay, so what's the way I think?
I know that you.
Okay, I give
you
you
respect
this.
it, but that's just not your thing.
It's not my thing. Okay, I agree with that because I give you this little thought, this little backstory as to like understand my mind, because we had like different views. Like I'm a little older than you,
Yeah.
so I give you this. When we got to the States, like, and I'll say this with respect because you motherfuckers get offended for everything. I've never seen a black person in my life until I got to the
Yeah,
States.
same.
So when
I
I saw
remember
a
being
black
shook.
person, I wasn't shook in a bad way. I was fascinated. I was like, I want to touch your skin. I want to like be close
Yeah,
up to you. I want to like I don't know, like do you like does your skill feel different, like something like that,
yeah.
you know, like. And I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. It's just that in my world that doesn't exist.
You just never seen a person like that before.
Yeah. So when I saw one, I was trying to be friends with him. I was trying to be nice, but because we came to a deep south town,
Yeah.
there was like a lot of racism, and because I'm like a little light skinned Asian kind of looking motherfucker, like black people didn't want to be my friends. So who and I mean, I was in a new country with no friends and I couldn't speak the language. And who got my back? The rednecks.
Yeah.
The rednecks got my back and they told me, "Oh, black people is bad and black people are fucking like inferior to you." So for real.
Hold on. Let me just put a little parenthesis here that we grew up in a very racist town.
Yes.
Just know that. Just know that.
Yeah. So I mean, me coming from like having no friends, having like not being able to speak the language and all that shit, and like these people like open up their arms to me and they were friendly to me. I was like, yeah, those motherfuckers are my brothers. So
Yeah.
like if they hated black people, I didn't like black people.
Yeah.
Not necessarily hate them, but I didn't like them because they didn't want to be my friends. They didn't want to be like with me or like shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
And so
It was
like
just confusing.
it was confusing.
It was confusing,
And I
especially-
mean, it was my freshman year in high school. So
Yeah.
that's like when you're trying to find out who you really are.
And as somebody that didn't know English.
Yeah, it's especially hard. So
Yeah.
like if the rednecks are like having your back and they're like, yeah, you're a brother, and then they don't like black people. Okay, I'm not gonna like black people.
Yeah.
And my high school career was like that. Like, I was like, oh yeah, fuck black people. But then as I grew, no, and I mean I'm saying this with respect because I grew out of that idea.
Yeah.
And as I came out of high school and we started traveling. We live in New York. We went to California. We went to all these amazing places, and we met more people, more cultures. And then we started working on the movies and all that shit. And I found out that black people weren't that bad. They were fucking amazing. Like they're beautiful women. They're smart people. They're funny. They know how to dance. They're very normal.
They're
people.
very within their culture, which is odd, like duh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just like Mexican culture, so it's nothing bad with it. So I was like, okay, this is stupid idea. It's just like a small town idea. And I'm very ashamed of it, but at the same time, like, I cannot change the past.
Yeah, you can only take what you learned and be better for it.
So fucking.
But at the same time, it's kind of like I feel you, like especially coming into this country and like seeing somebody different for the first time. Like you know how like Asians, you know how there are a lot of videos of people of color that whenever they go to like China, Asians are taking pictures of them the whole time and they're like fascinated by them. It's just like we just never seen one before. I don't know how we got to this topic.
Because we were talking about like my views about the community, and I mean I respect the community. I like you say that my values or my ideas, something like that.
I mean, it's not your values. It's more of like the way you speak on it that it's a little bit like.
I mean, I feel like
oof, maybe I shouldn't say nothing.
I'm gonna tell you this. I have a very dark humor.
Yeah, you do.
Like
darker
I will
than
make,
me.
but this is the thing. I will never make fun of something that hasn't happened to me.
Yeah.
So even if I talk about kidnapping, bet your ass that I'm talking because I already had that happening to me.
What?
Yeah. Not like we'll talk about it later. But if I go
we're just opening up in this podcast. Like I don't need to drink a little more for all that.
But what I'm saying is, if I'm making fun of something, it's because it already happened to me. So all this shit is because for a reason, you know. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just that the way I am, and I have a very very dark humor, and I know how to control it too, though. You know, like. With my family, I can be like as dark as I want because I know that these motherfuckers are not gonna leave me.
Yeah.
With my friends, I gotta be like, okay, like I'll be dark, but let's see how much I can push it.
Yeah.
And with people that I don't know, I'll be like, okay, let's go like a little vanilla, and then we'll see where we at.
Yeah.
So going back to what you said about the views about like the LGBT community, I respect them. I'm all for like if you want to get married between like the same sex and all that shit. I feel like we are at the point where we're just pushing to the absolute extreme and it's becoming like a cult, and that's where I fucking draw the line.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because I don't agree with this shit. Like I saw a video last week saying that like it was a guy with a fucking wig on, I think, and he was like, they're gonna let me go to the fucking restaurant that I want. If we not, I encourage all my LGBT community people to get guns because we're gonna shoot these motherfuckers down. And I was like, okay,
see, that's a little too much. That's too much.
And that's where I draw the fucking line. Like I like the fact that you found your soulmate, and if it was in another woman, another man, whatever it is, but don't go to the fucking extreme. You know, like that's where I draw the fucking line. Like that. Like what we talked about last week.
The shooter?
No, the dude from Bud Light.
The transgender dude?
Yeah. I've seen his videos and I feel like he's doing the absolute, like, he's doing too much, you know? Yeah. Like, he's playing a character at this point.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line.
When it becomes a little bit too theatrical,
yes,
it's like, hold on, like, we're still humans. Fake. We're still humans, therefore there's still gotta be a human point of view instead of just being like, oh, like, I'm this character of like trying to push equality for all and for everybody, and it's like by doing something bad. Yeah,
so I mean, whenever you push it to that extreme,
I have to go to the restroom.
Okay.
Like ASAP. I'm sorry.
Me too. Like, you take like an hour fighting with the fucking camera.
Okay, well the camera was fighting with me.
Bitch, and it was winning.
It was winning.
The camera was winning the battle.
Okay, anywho.
It took me like 2 minutes to fix. Like,
I know. I was very pissed that you fixed it so quickly. Anywho, where did we leave off?
Feels good. Extreme views, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't. I'll say this to close this statement, I guess, that I don't mind people loving each other. It's just the way that makes it like they're pushing it in a way that is like, look at me because I deserve to be watched.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, I draw the line. If you want to be watched, you gotta earn that right. Like, do something incredible to earn the spot of being in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, just you're one of the few, one of the many. Excuse me. You're just one of the many. So if you want to be unique, like, do something that makes you unique. Yeah. Don't just be one of the many and pretend to be unique.
I see what you're saying.
So I respect people as long as they set boundaries. Because just like I wouldn't like to see a straight couple just like eating each other at a mall. I don't want to see a gay couple.
Not eating each other.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I feel like gay couples have that feeling that they're entitled to do it because they've been oppressed.
Okay, can I just say that I've never in my life seen anybody go like full make out, like we're about to have sex in the bathroom type thing. I've never seen that shit. I've seen like at the most maybe like a passionate make out, but it's not like grabbing the titty and like pulling hair in the ass and like.
But has it been like a gay couple or a straight couple?
I've never seen it either. I've never in my life.
You just said you did. Like extreme
I said I
makeup.
didn't. I said I didn't.
Okay.
I said I've never seen it.
Okay.
I've never seen like a we're about to fuck right now. Like no, like even I wouldn't fucking do that. I would feel so like exposed.
Exactly.
Like that is for you and me because it's gonna get freaky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but that's in our bedroom. And it's like in
the privacy
of my own home and in my own bed. Like I want to get freaky with my partner, but alone because like what the fuck am I gonna do like at a fucking restaurant? Okay, actually, hold on. Actually, never mind. I retract my statement because I have seen it once. So, have you ever been to like a bar and people are a little bit, they feeling themselves and they be in there full on making out, and like this actually happened to me one of the times that I was bartending.
Hell yeah.
And I was, hi, my name is Julie, I'm taking care of you, and I'm checking up on them, and I was literally gonna bring them like, I don't know, either bread or salad or something like that, and I'm like walking up to their table and I'm like I'm gonna come back. Because, like, what do you do? Like, I'm not going to interrupt the makeout session. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're full on tongue out, tongue in the throat, Like, I'm like, and I literally looked at my coworker and I was like, you give each other that look.
Yeah, it's like this.
And she was like, you good? And I was like, I was like,
I'm shook.
And she looked and she was like, oh, okay. And we were both like,
time to go.
And they're like, excuse me. I literally went up to them and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your making out, so I got your bread, but it's cold. because you guys were making out for 5 minutes. And they just both looked at me like kind of embarrassed. I would be embarrassed too.
Yeah, for real.
Like, a cute little makeout is, fine outside. I don't.
But you as a person, you can tell between like a little makeout and
A full we about to fuck.
Yeah, even if they're not like completely making out, you can see the way like she's rubbing on him or he's touching her. Like you're like, yeah, that bitch is about to get fucked hard.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For everybody. Like,
I don't give a fuck. I'll just walk in and be like, here you go, guys. Anything else?
You would interrupt the makeout?
I'm that asshole. I'm that fucking asshole. Like, I've seen, like, guys just grabbing the ass and just, like, trying to finger the bitch in the middle of the bar. And I'm just like, excuse me. So I just bring the drinks. And I'm like, here you go, guys. Can I take your order? Or you want to wait, like, 5 more minutes? I don't give a fuck.
I'm not that bold to interrupt.
I'm bold as fuck. I don't give a fuck.
I would feel so
if you're in a public place and it's my job to take care of you in that place, then I will do it. And I will make you feel uncomfortable. Because that's your fault. Like, if you want to do that shit, then just get a fucking hotel. Like, they're like $150.
Or just wait. Just wait until you get out of the restaurant.
At least wait into the fucking car where there's a little more privacy.
I mean, the thing about it is that because you are making such a spectacle, people are looking at you.
Yeah.
And you know that the staff is going to be like, yo, have you seen table 10? No, what's going on? Dude,
go check it
out.
Go
check it out. Like, they are full on making
Walk around.
out. And you know damn well that all the staff is going to do like a little lap around you just to see what's going on because we're all shook.
That reminds me of a little story. Like, I'm a fat ass. I went to, what do you call this restaurant that we have here? Cracker Barrel.
Good old Cracker Barrel.
I went there and I went by myself and I was hungry. So I ordered this steak with some pancakes and a coffee and a dessert. Like I had like 5 dishes on my table.
Yeah.
And the girl was like she was like, honey, are you gonna eat all that? I'm like, I hope so, because I ordered it. And I devoured the bitch and I saw from the corner of my eyes 3 girls staring at me from the distance, and I knew like this bitch told them
that I ate all that.
Yeah, that I ordered all that shit.
Yeah.
They were like, and I mean, I work in a restaurant, so I knew that they told them, and they were looking at me. So I was like, yeah, I feel you.
One thing about the restaurant industry is that they gonna snitch. They gonna snitch. They're gonna tell the kitchen even. They're gonna be like, that steak that you prepared, but also with the chicken and the pancakes, went to the same dude.
Especially if you're a bad tipper. I think like we've said before, but like,
and he didn't even tip.
If you're a bad tipper, they will remember you and they will treat you like shit.
Yeah.
But there's that.
Okay.
Damn, I feel like we went all over the place.
I think this has been my favorite podcast so far.
It's been good.
I think the conversation was great. We got some new information that I didn't think was gonna come out, but I think that's like the beauty of it, because it really was a conversation. Like, exactly. Whenever I said that, I didn't mean to,
blur it out.
Not blur it out, because I talk like that, like, period. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't think that you were going to take it as like, oh, she's into that shit. So I think I already
figured it out, but
you knew?
I mean, bitch, you're fucking like, you're as clear as water.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? No, I don't want you to explain this.
I mean, you just like, you know how some people can like hide a lie and some people can't?
Okay, but what have I ever done that is like,
it's your fucking attitude, bitch. It's your attitude, the way you speak, the way you get offended when I make a mild joke about it. Like, I'm like, yeah.
News to me!
Bitch, I can read you back and forth.
That's so fun. So, like, when did you know?
Since you left, probably.
Really?
Bro.
What'd you say?
Bro.
Cut that out.
Bro.
So, you...
Obese, please.
Stop!
The movie that I sent you?
Which one?
The one that says that the N word is equivalent. No. Obese is equivalent of the N word for fat people.
Oh yeah. For
obese, please.
I mean, I think it's very interesting that you knew. I wonder if Mom knows.
I don't give a fuck. I respect you equally, as long as you don't do like crazy shit, like trying to like put yourself a fake dick on you, like.
Okay, that's between me and my bedroom. But anyway.
No. I'm talking about like a full operation. And
I would never.
that's what I'm saying.
I don't even. I'm even scared to get big titties because I don't want to go through all that.
Exactly.
But anyways, I think it's very like. First of all, I think it's very interesting that you knew. Now I'm a little shook. I really am a little shook because
You're easy to read.
I'm over here thinking I'm a fucking blank canvas.
Nah, bro, you're not.
But I mean, I don't know. I think that's funny.
I mean, I don't give a fuck.
I know that at the end of the day, like, because of the type of like relationship that you and I had, like, I knew eventually when it came out, you were gonna be cool with it. But like I said, because of the way that you are and our family is, I'm like, shit, how am I gonna tell them? like for real. And like, I think obviously like there's a lot of people that are gonna feel like that, but I think that shows a little bit more that it really is in our heads.
Okay, and I'm gonna be a little piece of advice. Like, she gave her idea of what it's like to like go through the struggle. I'm gonna be a piece of advice as somebody that is supposedly against stuff. Just don't do extremes. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like I already gave this example many times. Like the Bud Light example. Like, that dude is just doing the absolute most. Like, you can tell that he's a man. The way he walks, even his voice, his mannerisms. You can tell like he's a guy pretending to be a girl, not even a woman, just a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like when you go to those extremes is when people like me is like, okay, cut your bullshit. You know, like that's when we don't agree with that shit.
Yeah.
So as long as you just act normally, we don't give a fuck. Just make sure that you don't try to be the center of attention because of this little detail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I think that's
and that's a very American thing.
I think I don't know if it's an American thing.
I've never seen any other country.
But I think yeah, but you've never been to like any other country that's like super open.
Like what?
I don't know, maybe Britain?
No, I don't think so.
England? I mean, England's pretty open.
It's open, but like you don't hear the crazy shit that.
Well, I do. It's a little more proper. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like here, really, it is the land of the free. Like
But I
as
mean,
far as like free thinkers.
It's just that they're very open about it, but they want to be exhibitionists
They're
about it.
so extremists.
Yeah, there's extremists, so that's the thing. Like, don't go extreme to me. Like, if you're gonna say like, okay, I'm gay, like that's fine, but don't try to like act like somebody that you're not.
But I mean,
trying to prove a point.
I feel you, but it's also like maybe that does become a little bit of the actual problem when it comes to people like me that are not extremists. Like, like I.
Yeah, because you get labeled.
Yeah, you get labeled, but like that's the choice that I'm making.
Yeah.
Like I like both, but I'm not like I'm gonna show. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get to know me, and you're gonna get to see that I like both. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like, hi, my name is Julie, and I'm fucking bisexual. Like no, that's not it. Yeah. That's not it. It's like, hi, my name is Julie, and you're gonna get to know me. Like if I think you're hot, and I think if he's hot, I think she's hot. It's gonna be a natural way that you find out. I also don't dress. Well, maybe don't judge for today, but don't judge for the podcast that y'all see.
You just dress lazy.
I am a home. I ain't got nowhere to be. I dress comfortable. Maybe one day I'll dress up. But I think, you know what? You got me questioning my whole fucking life right now.
Why?
Because you're like, oh yeah, like I already knew, like you're so obvious, and it's just like.
It's not the way you dress. It's just the way you react to the situations. Like you get very uncomfortable, very defensive.
Yeah, because some of the things that y'all say is like, hold on, like it ain't even like that.
It's not that. It's just like dark humor. Going back to the same.
Yeah, I do
just
think it's dark
humor, but because we're in a this like safe bubble.
Maybe because it's a little bit more personal than I'm like, like I see what you're saying, but like you really are making me question like a little bit of like everything, and not like in a bad way. It's just more like a reflection of who I am and who I'm portraying for the world.
Yeah. And I mean, some people are more open, even if they don't want to be. They just
Yeah.
their nature, though. Because I mean, I feel like I'm a little more like secluded than you. Like I'm like you might get to know me, but you will not know the real me at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
I think so too.
So like it just varies on the person.
You don't wear your heart on your sleeve. I think that that's a very
Because I don't want to get it break.
broken.
Broke.
But yeah, no, and that's fair. That's fair. But I think that that's a very like good observation. Like like the difference of like you and I. You are very like you're very composed. You're very.
I don't break under a situation.
You definitely think before you speak, and I'm the
I
total.
try.
I'm definitely like the total opposite. Like whatever's on my mind, whatever's literally on my mind right now, like I'ma say, whatever's on my mind, my face is gonna show it. And I do think that I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and I don't know where I was going with that. I was like, I don't know where I was going with that.
Bitch.
So anyways,
I mean, it's just different personalities, I guess. Like I'm a little more, like this is the thing. Like you're try and error,
yeah,
and I'm more like
I'm gonna watch you fail.
yeah, and then I'm gonna learn
learn
from the mistake, and then I'm gonna make it right the first time.
Yeah,
kind of thing, you know.
I think so
like,
too. But I'm also way more extroverted than you are.
I feel like
You are an introvert extrovert for sure.
yeah, ambivert. I think that's what it's called.
A who?
Ambivert.
I've never heard of that.
That is somebody that is like a little extrovert but a little introvert as well. Because I'm not 100% introvert. Like I'm not like kind of guy that just wants to be in his room like 24/7.
Yeah.
You know, like I would like to go out and meet people and get to know, and like if I need to meet a stranger, like I'll be able to start conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go out and be like, hey motherfuckers, look at me.
But okay, but that's like our opposites because like when we went to that thing with our parents, remember?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I was the one talking, because I think that you are a little bit more. I don't want to say shy because that's not the right word, but I don't think you're the first to be like, I don't know you, but I'm gonna get to know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah,
and that's something that I personally think I'm
better at.
I
You're
am
definitely
I'm better at than you.
You are.
But there are people that I'm like, yo, you can make friends anywhere, anytime. Like, it doesn't matter, right? And those type of people are way more extroverted than I am, and I look up to those type of people. Like I have a really, really good friend that he is a person. Actually, there's two people that I've met that are like that could be like, hey, how are you? And because of the type of persona that they portray, it's like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Because like as far as like if I were to be like, hi, how are you? You would definitely get that awkwardness.
Yeah.
But with those other people, it's like
Very casual.
so
very...
welcoming, so warm, and those are the type of people that I look up to, and I'm like, yeah, like I want to learn from you how to do that. And I literally will tell my friend, how the fuck do you do that? Like there was this one time I took my friend to a wedding, and he stole the fucking show at the wedding. Like it was my wedding that I got invited to, and nobody liked me, but they liked my friend.
How are you?
It was like, I was so like
Was
shook.
it the Russian?
Huh?
Was it the Russian?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Did you
like,
saw her?
Yes. Not the sister.
Okay.
Not the sister.
But, she was cool as fuck. She was crazy, but she was cool as fuck.
But yeah, it was just crazy how nobody liked my vibe at the wedding, but he was my date for the wedding, and when
Everybody loved him.
Everybody loved him, and they were like, oh, everybody asked him, oh, who are you friends with, the bride or the groom? And it's like, I'm the date of somebody that knows the bride. And it was just like, I remember being mad as fuck at the end of the night. I was like, I don't know how you did that. It was just crazy because like I'm already very extroverted, but I'm also not like, you know, like
crazy out
yeah, like there's still people that are like more than me. So it's just very interesting, and you know.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know I can handle myself in crowds. It's just sometimes like, you know what? Like, this might sound stupid, so don't follow my advice. But sometimes like alcohol is what helps me. So like, it gets me loosed up. Because
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good.
I mean,
thing.
it's not a good thing, but like, I don't drink to the point where I'm shit faced.
Yeah.
But I drink a little bit to like I'm like more comfortable talking with strangers.
Yeah.
You know. So like that's what
Yeah.
happens in that event, and like I can tell you like past experience like. In a galaxy far, far away. Like, I've gone to concerts and, like, I'm trying with a little boost. I know I can get a girl for sure.
Not the drunk girls.
No, not even the drunk girl. It's just like I'm more fluid with the conversation and I'm like more
Yeah.
friendly, and I'm not like so tight in a way.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
So,
I mean,
but I mean, I'm always 100%
it's liquid
conscious.
courage.
Yeah, yeah. I'm 100% conscious of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
At all times. Like I don't drink to get shit faced. It's just like a little bit to like get me loose, and then I'm fine. And then once I put the first step in, I'm good to go. Like I know I can keep up the conversation and like seal the deal kind of thing. You know.
I mean, I can definitely tell you that one event that we went to, I was very nervous, but I got 2 drinks in me, and I was like, all right, bet.
Yeah, same.
Let me talk
like,
to you.
Yeah, like I went downstairs. I had a drink, and I was like, okay, like all the shenanigans and all the crowdness, like
it's just very overwhelming.
It was overwhelming.
It was super overwhelming, especially like in a tight space.
Yeah, that's the thing.
One thing about me.
I'm claustrophobic as fuck.
I'm not claustrophobic, but I hate crowds. Like, you know that I go to a lot of raves and concerts and things like that. All of my friends are always like, let's go to the front. Let's go to the front. I'm like, you got the front. I'm going to be way in the back. No, yeah. That's literally, and all my friends hate me because they're like, no, there's no energy back there. Like, because obviously you feed off the energy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially at the concert.
Yeah, so if you're in the front and everybody's like, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. And my thing's like, I like to dance. And I dance big. So if I'm literally like, you know, like all kinds of shenanigans, I'm going to punch you. And I don't want to punch you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take my ass to the back where I have room. My thing is like, if we are like dancing like this,
I'll kill you.
Oof, don't touch me. Like, do not touch me. Like, that's so uncomfortable for me. So I want room. So if I'm feeling like overcrowded, I get very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to leave. Like, there has been times that I go to a concert and like, concerts are like my thing. Like, I go to a show almost every weekend. So for me to not be able to enjoy that, it's like, why go in the first place? Why do I want to go to a concert? First of all, I'm short, right? So I can't even see the artist or the visuals, or I can't even see anything. So it's like, all right, I'm not enjoying myself, so I'm gonna head out.
Yeah. I feel you. It makes sense. Well.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, let me just do one last thing because we didn't get to talk about this, but I wanna send out a fuck you to someone.
To who?
To the guy. So after all this deep conversation,
that's such a good conversation.
It was very good. I keep it. That's a core memory.
This is definitely my favorite. Definitely a core memory. I will never forget this for sure.
But after all this,
I'm gonna take a shot before that.
Okay, bring it, motherfucker.
Okay,
close with a shot.
Yeah, look at that.
But after all this, because we didn't get to talk about it, but in Texas there was a shooting, and another one. God forbid.
We should have like a board.
Oh, like how many shootings?
Of like every time we talk about a shooting, because I feel like it's this every week occurrence.
Nah, it will take too much space.
every podcast occurrence we're talking about a shooting.
Real. It will take too much space on the studio.
For the land of the free and the home of the guns.
Yeah, but this one was a Mexican, and he was shooting an AR-15 outside his backyard. So if you don't know, an AR-15 is like this big, long assault rifle.
It's like a Resident Evil type thing? Like a...
Something like that, yeah. Okay. Something like that. And this motherfucker was just like having a good time shooting in the air. So the neighbor goes to his house, and he's like...
White neighbor?
No, Mexican.
Another Mexican
neighbor.
So they're both Mexican? Okay.
Yes. So he was like, hey, bro, like, it's like midnight. Like, I have kids. Like, they're trying to go to school tomorrow. Like, can you shut the fuck up? In the most respectful way. And he went back to his home. And then the guy that was shooting was like, I will not tolerate this disrespect. So he went back to the house and he started shooting people.
Went back to whose house? The
neighbors.
The neighbor that complained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Execution style. Like the news reported that like he shot the neighbor's family in the head just like execution style.
Jesus Christ.
Was he drunk? I mean, I will guess so.
I mean, raza, we can't be killing each other.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't only drunk, but he was high on fucking coke and heroin and all the good shit that people kill each other for. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on. That's a very dangerous statement that you just said because
Drugs?
yeah, because okay, let's talk about that. Coke is an upper, heroin is a downer.
No.
Heroin is an upper?
No. Yeah, fuck yes.
Heroin makes you like
No, it does the fuck not.
stop right now.
Heroin gets you even higher than Coke.
You're lying.
I'm not fucking lying. But the downsides are worse for heroin because it's more addictive. And then on top of that, in this last couple years, people have mixed fentanyl with cocaine and heroin.
Yeah, I knew I was right. Heroin is a downer.
It's not a fuck.
Heroin is a downer. So, like, okay, that's what I'm saying. It's a very dangerous statement that you just made because let's say that homeboy was on whatever the fuck, right? The effects that certain drugs give you are very specific.
They
And
are.
this is not to glorify drugs by any mean. Like, obviously, if you're taking fucking heroin, chill the fuck out. But it's very important to label the drug that you are taking. Because if you're talking to me, let's say that you were on coke right now, right? And you're talking to me. And I can see that you are on coke because it's very distinctive.
Yeah,
like
you can see the
if you're like
crystal eyes and
tweaking, if you're tweaking and your eyes start like pinpoint, like I see that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're also that's an upper, right? So if you are in a downer, like meth, and you are like more like, have you seen like the horse tranquilizer shit
Yeah.
where people are literally like paralyzed?
Yeah.
That's a whole different way that you're gonna speak to me. So I think it's just very important to be very careful what drugs you are labeling.
You gotta be careful, but at the same time, like, have you ever seen someone in heroin or coke?
I've seen people in coke. I have seen people. What's like after coke? The one that you can smoke? Crack.
Crack.
That's crack. Okay, I've seen someone in crack.
Okay, because there are different levels. So like
Yeah.
the first one, it is and it always will be weed. So that one's like a little like
Weed is a downer.
It's a downer, but at the same time, it's like something makes you feel better. So whenever weed doesn't do the job, like you look something higher, which is coke.
Mm-hmm.
And then coke gets you high, gets you like very
Gets you
active
going.
and gets you going.
You're
And
ready
like,
to go.
how do you want to go? Like,
Yeah.
And then after that, like whenever coke doesn't hit you the same way they used to hit, like I know from personal experiences because I know people that after coke they jump to heroin and it's just like the next level. Like at the beginning, it's like very high production, high productive drug. It's like let's do that. Like
Yeah.
they're working at 1,000 miles per hour.
Right.
But after a certain level, there's like going down because heroin wears you down very quickly.
Right.
So I don't know what this motherfucker was on, but I know he was on some kind of drug because there's no. I mean, even sober, there's no way you can just be out in your backyard just shooting a fucking AR-15.
I mean, people do that. People love to shoot guns just because.
They do, but not to that degree, though. And I mean, to the fact that he got so
Have
pissed
you
at
seen white people?
But this is
White
the
people.
thing.
White people will be on their backyard for no reason.
Yeah, but on their backyard. But like, if a neighbor is like, "Hey, calm down," like they usually do. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because this guy
The
was
common
like,
sense was out the window.
Yeah. So this guy was like, "Oh hell, no, I'm not gonna tolerate this disrespect." So he went to the neighbor's house and shoot this motherfucker. So like, you had to be at least on cocaine.
Yeah.
To do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to. Like, I want to say fuck you to this guy because.
What's his name?
It's called Francisco Oropesa, which
dude.
Which is now a fugitive of the law.
Fugitive. Okay.
Fugitive. My tongue is getting numb.
That
Of the
alcohol
law.
hit.
For real. Of the law. And he is now one of the most wanted people by the FBI in the U.S. And I mean that happened in Texas. So my guess is that he's already over the border. Like
border.
honestly, the border.
Yeah.
He's already past that sweet line.
Yeah, he out. He
out.
running from the feds.
To this guy, fuck you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done that.
Raza, we can't be killing each other.
No,
What's
it's
the
not
point?
right. We're not gonna play the white kids game of shooting each other. That's not who we are.
Shade of the white kids. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Like, the stats are there. Okay.
But okay, let's call it a day.
Let's go ahead and close this out. Yeah, thank you so much for watching episode 5.
6, motherfucker.
6. Damn it. 6. cheers to accidentally coming out to your family. I wonder how many people have done that.
Mm. Ah, because whenever you buy the lime, you get all the.
I don't know why you did all that.
I don't know.
I don't know why you did it like that too. Like,
it seemed like a good idea at the time, but God fuck.
do you take shots like whole?
Fuck yeah.
I do not. And I just want everybody to know that if you do not take shots all in one go, it is okay. And don't let anybody else tell you that.
Don't get social pressure into that.
Yeah, because people be shitting on me all the time for not taking my shots whole. I'm like, are you gonna
trying
take
to
care
live.
of me?
I'm trying to live.
My thing is, like, I really can't. Like, I can't. I don't know if you remember this at the wedding.
Oh, son, that was a day. That was a day.
Maybe we'll tell that story one day, but not today.
That's actually a lot of good stories over there.
That is such a good story. I don't know
but
why.
like the whole thing though, cause like I remember I didn't want to go, and then everything that happened afterwards, like there's a good love story in there that one day we'll share with you.
That's a day. I remember that day.
It's
very,
been
very
one
well.
of the most important days in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'll put it like that. Even though I didn't want to go and I hated every second of it, now looking back, it has been one of the most important days in my life.
I can see that. I can see it why though. Like now thinking about it, like where you are today.
Yeah.
I can definitely see why.
Yeah. So you never know. Like, what would be like the good phrase to close this with? You never know what you're going through until you look back at.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because like that moment, I fucking hated that day. But looking back,
we had fun. What are you talking about?
Huh?
We had fun that day.
We had
at the wedding.
Fun. Yeah, the wedding. But like everything that led up to it, like remember, because I was very salty about it, like because of the day they chose.
Yes. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
So no, we're not gonna say anything.
We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, in the moment, I was fucking furious at it. But now, fast forward, how's it been? Like 4 years? That was 2019, right?
Yeah, that was with me and...
2019.
Yeah, that was when me and D started dating.
Huh?
That was when me and D started dating.
Yeah, 2019. And now looking back, I'm like, that has been like one of the most important, if not the most important date in my life.
Oh, we're not talking about that. Anyways.
So, like, never... I give you this last piece of advice. If you're going through something that you don't think it's important to you, don't hate it. The fuck? Because it might be something very important to you in the future.
Mm-hmm. He said that.
And today I can tell you that I'm very thankful for that day that I hate it. Don't fucking throw up on my...
I'm not gonna throw up. I don't throw up. Period.
And I can tell you right now that it's been one of the most important days in my life to date.
I can see that.
That I hated the moment of.
I remember I hated a lot of things about that day.
Me too.
But it's also... I wouldn't say I don't think it's the most important day of my life for me. Anyway, this is all irrelevant because we're not going to talk about this. Anyways, let's finish this shot and then we will close it out.
Mm-hmm. Woo! Thank you so much for watching, motherfuckers.
I'm not done.
It was an interesting episode. It was a
great episode.
Long ass episode.
It's been my favorite episode so far.
And we'll have done 6 or 4.
Okay,
we got
well, this
thousands more to go.
6th one is my favorite one.
Whew. That kick like a mule. Well, that's a good time to wrap it up, bro. Cheers to you. I want to cheer to you.
Okay, so...
Don't fucking do that shit on me.
Some people are just not shot people, and that's okay.
That's already...
You're gonna... What?
I already finished my shot.
Okay, what did I just say?
I know, but like that was like 4 sips.
Okay,
like,
I will
on.
take
like,
8
that's
sips.
That's only an ounce.
This will literally take me like 2 more sips.
That's
but you're gonna cheers to me?
Fuck yeah.
Thanks.
Cheers to you.
Appreciate that.
This is whiskey. and tequila. That's a dangerous combination. Don't do it.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Tip your fucking staff.
Y'all be safe out there. Do not drink and drive. Do not waste somebody else's life, your life. Do not get a DUI. A DUI is gonna be a fucking hustle for the rest of your life.
For real. And make sure to tip your staff because they're working on an ugly day. Like, I wish I could ask for that day off. And I can't. And that pisses me off. Delicious. But that's a good day, though. Here we go. Let's just click.
Now I'm done.
Me too. Let's just click it. That's a good wrap, though.
We will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for listening. Like, comment, share. If you want to say something, please comment down on it. We love feedback, positive feedback, negative feedback, even though negative feedback is always positive feedback.
Yeah. It gives you room for improvement.
Yeah, we're always down to grow, and obviously the audience is going to help us do that. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.
Peace. Thank you, everybody. That was a good episode.
I love that episode.
I like it.
That was such a good moment.